Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic. Diner stops and real talk. The voice of farmers, not politicians or promise makers. Just honest conversation about agriculture's biggest issues. At the table today. This is The Farmer's Table, an original series from Pivot Bio.
Hi, I'm Andrew McCrae, host of The American Countryside and a farmer from Northwest Missouri. Connecting farmers through conversation is what The Farmer's Table is all about. And today, we're opening up the floor to a couple of the most talked about issues facing agriculture, carbon, and climate change. We have four farmers who took their seat at the table. Caleb Hamer from Hudson, Iowa, Matt Miles from McGee, Arkansas, Bill Kame from Salina, Kansas, and Dennis Wentworth from Downs, Illinois. Matt kicks things off by seriously questioning just how much potential the carbon market brings to a farmer like himself.
And I don't think anyone's really got a handle on what a carbon credit is yet. You know, they're just going around in circles and trying to figure it out. And we're working with a company right now that, earlier on, I can't remember what we was talking about, but the middlemen, that make all the money. And, I kind of see that happening in a certain way, that there's a lot of people making the money out of this besides the guy that's doing the practices.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what y'all's opinion is on that, but
I agree with you, and we're having the same problem. We've been no-till for over 20 years, and we already do variable rate fertilizer and all the stuff that we could be doing to get carbon, get compensated for carbon credits has kicked us out of most of the programs. Some of them have had a look back, so some fields we've taken over in the last 5-10 years, we're eligible in some of those fields. But most of our fields we aren't eligible on, and so it's been kind of a challenge, kind of frustrating when you think there's you get paid for what we're doing already, and
how you've already improved.
Yeah, we've already improved, and we've dabbled in the cover crop for years, and it isn't anything that it's paying out for us, and so we don't want to add that as a practice, and so we're just kind of stuck.
Kind of getting penalized for already being at the forefront of some of the conservation.
Yeah.
We're not in the carbon game yet. I'm just kind of waiting. Too many friends in the industry said there's just too much we don't know yet, so just kind of wait. I mean, you see the billions and billions of global dollars being poured at this problem that the dollars per acre that they're currently talking about doesn't seem like enough for me, so we're just kind of
sitting. And it's barely break even if you were to adopt a new practice.
Yes, I'm not sure.
It barely pays you for that, if at all.
Right, yeah. There's too many holes with that as far as what you can use or not use and what qualifies and what doesn't qualify, but there's no check and balance on this yet. Who's to stop? I mean, other than just being an honest businessman, you can sign up for everybody's program darn near, and without somebody doing some serious auditing, it's going to be hard for them to find that out. And it's too much of the wild, wild west still for me to hitch my horse up to that and get going.
And when you get a different administration,
then what?
Then
Yeah.
what? Does that all go? Yeah, but you're locked into. I think we would all agree. We talk about systems in our farm operation. We've got a system that works. If you want to come in and change part of that system, it's a big deal. The system that I've got works, and now you're adding risk into that. You want to change that, you're going to have to work with that, and it just not 1 year. You're one and done, and everything's.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, is basically what you're saying, because you've been very successful with what you're doing and the plan you have, and it's really hard to want to change that without hardcore proof that maybe it's not going to make money, as far as those practices, but you definitely don't need them to lose money,
So what I don't understand with the whole carbon market thing is I don't understand how an airline industry can just throw money at it, which some of it trickles down to me, and that's supposed to fix the pollution and carbon issues. I just don't see how throwing money at a carbon issue is the fix for the carbon issue.
Right.
Yeah, I'm changing some practices, but what is the airline industry changing? What is the shipping industry changing? What is the trucking industry changing? I don't understand.
I think that's the whole point, is they don't have to change. they can pay you to change. And I think that's the whole point of it. And
But there sounds like we might not get paid because we're not changing anything because we're already doing it.
that's exactly right.
But we're putting a crop out there that's out there for 6 months, absorbing sunshine and putting carbon into the soil, and that doesn't count?
Yep, that's what it sounds like to me.
Because you've been doing that for, yeah, so we don't get credit for that? We have to do something different on a crop that's going to be out there for really, frankly, a short period of time during the winter time. Not a lot of sunshine, not a lot of carbon sequence, as far as I can tell, not a lot of carbon sequence, and then we're going to kill it.
When the Farmer's Table returns, talk turns to climate change. We'll be right back.
Farmers have always taken care of what they value. They cultivated bountiful land and fed a nation hungry for progress. As Americans dialed up, precision on the farm led to yields once thought impossible. But when it came to nitrogen, it wasn't precise or predictable enough. Farmers deserve a nitrogen worthy of who they are and what their land can provide. And now there is one.
As skeptical as this group is about the future of carbon, climate change generates just as much pushback. As the conversation continues, Dennis brings a strong voice to what many farmers are thinking when it comes to this controversial topic.
Well, I think we go back and I'm not going to speak for other people, but myself, it's just, I think agriculture has the perception, at least in the United States, of saying global warming, climate change, whatever catchphrase you want to use is boo-ha. For me, climate's changing. Okay. Now, can we slow it? I don't think that case of, as far as changing it slow, policymakers are just wanting us to help them feel better for themselves, force companies that are making billions of dollars, well, spend another billion and we'll get farmers to, go out and lose some more money. That makes sense, right? For a policy. So it's just, I still struggle with, I don't think the problem, the solution, those 2 points have been connected for me.
I mean, our growing season's a little bit longer for us. We're getting a good double crop in. Tends to mature on time. Our rainfall, has been a little inconsistent. It's a lot larger rainfall events.
And we'll adapt. American agriculture always adapts.
Yes.
So if it means we don't grow corn and beans in Iowa someday, I bet we can grow something pretty well down the road.
Well, we think out of the box so much. We're chasing high yields, but we're chasing high yields with a positive ROI. So we're out there, say we're making a certain soybean yield, and a lot of people are saying there's no way you can do that, you're putting too much into it. Well, we've got the data to prove that the ROI is working there. So, one thing that aggravates me as much as anything is, guys sitting around making fun of me for not doing it like my dad did it. Do I get aggravated because people think I'm trying to harm them by the way I farm? Yes, but in the end, if I can choose family and relationships and provide safe food for the United States or for other countries or starving countries or whatever, how do you find anything? That's not a job, that's a lifestyle, and it's something that I feel like we can be proud of and enjoy, and that's basically why I do it.
Carbon and climate change are two things you can hear debated daily in diners across farm country. And while common ground is hard to come by on either front, it sure makes for a lively discussion. We want to thank Matt, Caleb, Dennis, and Bill for taking their seat at the table and for opening up about two of the most contentious issues facing farmers today. We'll see you next time on the Farmer's Table.